Hey guys, yours truly, Silver Bro here again at you. And I want to talk to you guys about some predictions of mine about what to expect out of silver for the next year. This time next year, what to expect from silver. So let's go over this, and we have to go back a little bit to recap this past year, what happened with silver. And then we could talk about what only makes sense to come in the next year from now. Okay, so this time last year, I think it was somewhere in the 30s, and it went up to, it went up to like about a month and something ago. We literally reached a record, like a really all-time record, and then it just went up really, really fast, and then it came kaboom, went right down. But the funny thing is, when it went down, is that they really were doing everything they could to keep it down, and yet it just kept going back up. So like again, I said this in other videos, everyone could say, oh, it's a crash, it's a crash, it's a crash, but at the same time, it can't be a crash if it's doing better than last year, and historically it's doing better. So you can't really call it a crash. I know that in the past I didn't do such research, so I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do this much research, but I think that in the past, when it did crash, it went pretty much back down to where it started from. So we're not back down to where it started from. So it jumped double as of now from last year. So I mean, realistically speaking, the demand for this is really growing. So the supply is really having issues in reality, because a bunch of countries are kind of trying to really, including the U.S., they're really trying to hold on to this, and they're having all these committee meetings, which means that there's a problem with supply. You don't have committee meetings on things that aren't problems. So the reality is this, in my opinion. Next year, if there's no craziness that's to come, I think you could at least expect this to be in the 140 range. That's like the worst scenario, because right now it's kind of like stabilizing, but going up at the same time. Meaning it goes up, goes back down, but it goes back down to a certain point, and it doesn't get any lower than that. Meaning that a lot of people that I talk to that are real experts in this trade, they say that it's gonna go up slowly, but at the same time it's not gonna get any lower than 50. They don't think you'll ever see this for 50 an ounce ever again. I want to stop for a second and just say a quick investing point. Again, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but here's what I do. And if you find this helpful by any means, subscribe to my channel, keep listening. But I don't really look for the most expensive collectible coin, right? I want to buy as much as this as possible, because at the end of the day, this is an ounce. Okay, so I want to get as many ounces so I could double my investment or triple it in the next few years, versus buying a collectible item. So get as many ounces as you can, right? Secondary markets are always good, as long as it comes from a reliable source, which is very important. But yeah, so all seriously right now, I think that what's going to be is next year, you could like this time next year, you could see this at least 140. And circling back, okay. It's the chart. I know that the people are trying to intimidate you, saying it's going down, but it's going down in a healthy rate, because it just climbed up too fast, and and they're really trying to get a grip on it. But there's only really so much you could do when there's so much this to go around. So I think, yeah, my money says minimum next year 140 this time next year. This is exciting. We'll wait and see. We'll try and play back this video next year this time. If things go down and a lot of craziness happens, then you could potentially see it maybe go up to 2-3 times the value. My personal opinion right now, out of everything, is in a perfect world today, this should be worth at least 500. That's my personal opinion, because this is something that everything runs on. Tech. There's a lot of tech going around. Electrical batteries, or electrical cars. You need the battery. You got chunks of this, and missiles, which we're really going to need in the near future. So there's a lot that goes into this. So I think realistically this should be worth 500 an ounce at least. And just all these scams with COMEX and all these financial institutions that are sketchy are doing everything they can to keep it down. So my advice to you, like I always say, again, I'm not an advisor. This is what I'm doing. So let me rephrase. This is what I'm doing. I'm still buying this, and I'm buying it in a sense where I don't really care for it. Like I buy it and it's just like an item that I have and I don't intend to sell. So I'm not dumping all my money, but I'm dumping a nice amount that I wouldn't care if I even lost it from the get-go. And that's that. So that's my prediction. I'm saying next year you could expect to see this at 140s to double. And I wouldn't panic, even though they say it's a crash, because it's not. It's still higher than it ever was, and it also held this pace. So slowly, I think like in 6 months from now, you're never gonna ever get to a point in 6 months from now where you're gonna see this at $80, $70, an ounce. I just don't think you're gonna get there. So let's wait and see. But in the meantime, keep buying in a healthy rate. And again, can it go down again? Of course, yeah, it could go down to the 60s even. I'm sure it can. So I mean, let's say you saved someone, like I'll just use myself as an example, because again, I'm really trying not to set anyone up for failure here. But if I put away a nice sum of money that I want to eventually buy silver with, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold it and then wait for a nice dip and then snatch as many as I can. That's my advice to you. Stay tuned, leave a comment, tell me how you feel about this video. It's important. Your feedback really matters. This is what I'm all about. I care about your feedback. All right, thank you guys.